So in today's web dev tip, we're going to take a look at the logical OR operator in JavaScript. So logical OR is just these two pipe symbols that are next to each other, and it's an operator that you can put in between two values. And basically, if one of the values is falsy, then we pick the other one, assuming it's truthy. So for example, if we say 10 and 15, they're both truthy values, and because the 10 value comes first, then that is what gets displayed in the console on the right hand side. But if the value on the left hand side is falsy, for example it's 0 or undefined or something, then we pick the other value on the right hand side, which in this case is 15. So that's how it works, but how would you use this in your code? Well, it can be really useful for providing default values if you get a property on an object or any other value in a variable which is falsy. So let's take a look at a quick example here. So let's say we have this response object that's come back from an API or some other kind of source, and we want to get the age, but we want to parse it into an integer so that we can use it within our code. So we might write something like this. So the age is equal to parse int response.age. And if we just log that out to the console to check that we've got the right age, you can see that's worked okay because the value that's inside of age is a string that has some length to it, so it is a truthy string. But if that string is not truthy, if it's empty, or even if the property on the response object doesn't exist, we'll get a type error, we'll get the not a number value coming back. So that might not be what we want to do. We might want to provide a default value if this parseInt function fails. So we can just use our logical OR operator for that, and then just provide a default value if the parseInt function fails. For example, we could supply the string of unknown, or even provide any other value such as 0 if we wanted to keep the age as a number. So that's just a quick example of when you might use the logical OR operator to provide a default value. It also works quite well on a lot of array methods such as find and find index. So if that particular function doesn't return a result, you can provide a default object or value so that the rest of your code can continue, rather than assuming that you found something in that array which could cause problems with the code later on. So that's it for the logical OR operator. Make sure you stay tuned for more web dev tips.